What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Sorry, we're a couple of minutes late, but we were yapping with Conrad. Hello, it is after the impact time, and welcome to those who joined us. I am coming to you live from my illustrious living room. You can see my piano in the back, and Jeff is in the control room. So we switched places, and we are here just to talk about the impact show that we saw tonight. So hello to all of those who joined us, and we're just going to talk. We're going to chat. We only did get 3 matches tonight, so not a whole lot to talk about match-wise, but we did get some interesting promos, and we saw some things happen. So we're going to take, let's say, we'll take about 25 minutes, half an hour, and we'll just talk about what we just saw in the show. So hello, Kevin Correa, Cheese Whiz. Hello, Jen. Is here. Hello, Yvonne. Hello, Janelle. And hello, Chris. So, all right, welcome in. And so those of you who haven't yet given us your scores from tonight's show, you can do that. Let us know what your scores are from Impact tonight. As On said, it was a good show. I'm not going to fucking swear for once. Oops, James, you always swear. You always swear. This is why we need a talking shop. We really do, for more reasons than one. Sean Rousset is back. Hello to you, Sean. Welcome. So, yeah, give us your scores for the show. It was a little bit of a weird show, Jeff. It was very, very promo heavy. And I didn't realize it either until you mentioned that we only got 2 matches at the end of the night, which, we end up, of course, with 3. We got the very last match, the main event match. But very promo heavy, but the promos are interesting.
Yeah, it was a lot of – I thought for a minute that, maybe I just blanked out and I was missing something. But no, it was just very promo heavy. And honestly, I'll tell you the feeling I got when I was watching the promos, kind of what Azan is talking about here. You remember like back in the day, when you'd have these big boxing matches and you'd have the video packages where the guys are kind of in their training camp or they're just kind of talking to the interviewer and they're talking about how much they dislike, their opponent or whatever it is. I got those type of vibes from a couple of those promos tonight, especially W. Morrissey and the video package we got for Jake something and Rohit. That's what it felt like to me as a boxing fan who grew up, in the 80s and watching some of those, things transpire. That's the feeling that I got tonight from some of those. It just felt raw, authentic.
The Morrissey one was really good. I didn't even know the whole backstory behind that one, but that was really good. It really felt like it was personal to him, that it was really coming from the heart. So, yeah, I agree. That was, if I had to go back and look at the promos that were done, that was probably going to be like the number one promo I would say that I saw tonight. It was really, really heartfelt, really, really good. You could kind of feel that coming from, deep down inside of him. And then, of course, we got Rich Swann came in and attacked him. So kind of getting him back a little bit. So furthering the storyline with those two. And yeah, we got some things too that even though we only did see the 3 matches, of course, we got the tag team match, we got the women's match, and then we got the main event. But even though we only saw 3 matches, we saw a lot of development in that women's match. And it was a kind of a blink and you might miss it. But, you're seeing the progression of Jordynne Grace and where she's headed. And it really looks as if she's going to, now she's teaming back up. So it really looks as if that's going to become a separation and that Jordynne is going to turn heel. It's really looking that way, and look, I'm all for that. I think Jordynne is great, and I think she'd be a great heel. And then of course you got a little more progression, of course, of whatever Susan is happening with Susan as well. So I liked it, and then you got the Iron Man match out of that tag team match, which is going to be amazing. Josh Alexander and TJP in an Iron Man match. Couldn't ask for much better with Jeff, too. Especially, if they're not getting eyes on that BTI show, and a lot of people aren't coming for that show, they certainly will next week.
That's the way to do it. You want to get eyes? There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I want to go back to that women's match because there were a lot of different things that you saw happen there that it's exciting. I mean, think about this. I mean, we'll break it all the way down. So obviously, before the match even started, they're like, "Hey, Jordan." Well, not they. Rachel's like, "Hey, Jordan, come join our team," and she's like, "Oh, now you want me to be a substitute?" And then you could kind of see some of the miscommunication in the match.
Yep.
So you take that aside. The fact that Rosemary got the pin on Deonna is significant.
Yeah.
That is a significant moment because the way they built Deonna, which I'm giving them kudos on that. They built her to almost be unbeatable, and to have Rosemary get that pin over her was great. And then Taylor Wilde, where's Taylor Wilde?
Right.
Like where is she? And that was pretty. I mean those three things, and I mean there were more, but those three things were pretty big for that match alone.
Yeah, I agree. And, the thing with Taylor obviously was mentioned before on BTI that there was someone missing tonight. So what happened there is going to be now, Impact's kind of good at planting these little seeds for mysteries. Mm-hmm. So what happened to Taylor Wilde? So now we're probably going to get a thing where maybe somebody jumped her. Something maybe happened to her in the back, causing her not to make it. So now that's going to come into play. So who did it? We're going to have a big kind of a who done it. And now you've got people in place as to who it could be. I mean, the obvious ones would be, of course, Tenille, because she denied her being a partner for so long and didn't want anything to do with her. And of course, anybody from that other side. I mean, it could have been Deonna, of course. It could have been Kimberly. It could have been Susan. It could have been any of those. But the big one is going to be, was it Jordynne Grace? And is she kind of, fabricating this whole thing so that she can, turn on, on Rachel Ellering at some point. So, very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. And look, if you're going to do a promo centric show, this is the kind of stuff you have to do to keep it interesting. If you're not going to have a lot of wrestling, you have to, progress the storylines. And, this is the kind of stuff you have to see. We started the show with Sami Callihan, who is never going to be a bad promo. No matter when he comes out, what he talks about. And again, that was a kind of, someone said in the chat that it was kind of like a breaking the fourth wall thing, kind of with him too, because he started, about the whole thing with Moose and saying how, hey, isn't it evident to you that they're attacking me? So isn't it obvious to you that they're more afraid of me than they are of you? Which was an interesting comment. So, I mean, that started things right off. And, of course, that led to the main event this evening as well. But now, Conrad, hello, Conrad, again. We were talking after the show tonight about the fact that now you wonder if there's going to be a triple threat. Do we get Sami and Moose and Kenny Omega now at Against All Odds? And it's not just a one-on-one match anymore. It's certainly possible. Certainly possible. Will Jax, hello again to you. Develop characters and storylines. Yeah, we had a ton of promos tonight, but I'm not upset with it. It was all leading to something else, leading to other things. And then, Jeff, we got Kojima and we got Doring.
I mean, the fact that we didn't get much said, but everything, man, everything happening the way it did with Joe Doring, and you see those two who have history from All Japan wrestling. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy, and that's going to be such a hard-hitting physical match that I think is going to shock a lot of people. But yeah, I'm so happy to see Kojima, and man, I mean, just when you think things can't get more violent and physical, Then they put these two in a match against each other.
I'm excited for that again because, as I always say, I don't get to watch New Japan very much, so I did not see them battle in New Japan. So seeing this will be a first for me, which is very cool. Azan's got some breaking. I got some breaking news from Azan White. Deonna Purrazzo will defend the Knockouts Championship against Rosemary on June 12th at Against All Odds.
There you
go. Now, see, I didn't see that coming. I would have thought it would have been Taylor. So obviously they're going away from that. As we said, Taylor now is going to have it out for whoever took her out. So if it's going to be Jordynne Grace, you're going to have Jordynne go against Taylor. So there you go. Rosemary is in the title picture, and I'm not upset about that one iota. Rosemary got a shot at her once before, was last year. I don't remember exactly which pay-per-view, but yeah, well, Jeff just mentioned it. That, look, I mean, obviously that meant something for her to pin her, and now all of a sudden Rosemary's getting the title shot.
Yep. Hey, we just do what we can do here. That's all. I mean,
that's right.
We try to break it down as much as we can.
That's right. Conrad says Kojima. Big Dan, guys, I honestly believe Samoa Joe is going to be the one to dethrone Omega, and if there is a crowd, the pop will be massive. It could happen. I mean, if they're going to wait to take that title off of him, the argument against what I was saying, because I was saying about like if Moose wasn't going to leave, that if he was sticking around, then they would give him that title. The argument against that is if they do make it a triple threat, it's going to be easy for Kenny to kind of escape that without losing that title because he wouldn't have to chew up the pin. So, and then if they do take it to Slammiversary, which would be, to be honest, a much bigger event for an Impact wrestler to win that title off of him, and whoever, if it is somebody that just shows up, whether they come and show up and they wrestle him for the title, or if they come and cost him the title, boy, yeah, dude, Big Dan, if it were Samoa Joe, yeah. James Chadwick says it was a Final Resolution that Rosemary wrestled Deonna. Yeah, I knew it wasn't that long ago because I remember they built that up, but this is a different Rosemary. This is Decay Rosemary now. So she's a different persona. This one's a little more brutal. So very, very, very interesting. So that's what I said. I mean, we got a very promo-centric show, but it went a long way to setting things up. And Jeff, we got the big LG and we got Carl Anderson in some kind of crazy outfits, man.
I love it. I love those guys. Like I said, I saw the big LG in that tank top on Twitter, and I was like, "Listen, I got to see it." Saw him with the earring, just good stuff, man. They're so good at what they do, and and it's great because again, it keep the thing I really love about Impact is that they keep you engaged, and they're constantly evolving storylines. They are layers. They're layered storylines. So obviously you've got Moose and you've got Kenny. Now you add in Sammy with that, but then you also have to factor in you've got the Good Brothers, the rest of the club that are going to have their boys back. So where are they going to be lurking? So, the fact that you had to have Sammy and Moose kind of team up, even though they're going after the same thing, it's just intriguing. There's just, depth to all of the storylines. So I really appreciate that. And I'll say this too. I would argue that you don't necessarily need to have fans to take the belt off of Kenny. But if your plan is to do it with someone like Joe, I think that's exactly right. But I think that'll happen. For whatever reason, I just kind of feel like Kenny's not going to hold it much. I don't think he'll hold it past Slammiversary, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I would agree. And then we got another promo, too, which we kind of didn't see coming. A really good promo from Jake something and Rohit.
Yeah.
again, another one very, very personal. The two of them talked about how they were friends, and how, when something good happened with Rohit, the first person he called was Jake something to tell him about it. And so again, kind of breaking that fourth wall a little bit, going into a little more personal issue between those two. And now we're getting a tables match. And this is next week as well. Man, next week is stacked. We have that Iron Man match to lead off everything, and then we're getting a tables match between these two guys. Next week is really stacked. I mean, we didn't get a lot of wrestling in this one, but man, we're gonna make up for it with next week's show. That was really cool, man. I mean, another promo that I thought was really fantastic between those two guys, very heartfelt to me. And again, when it comes off that way, it's probably, if these guys are really friends outside of the ring, and they probably are, it's probably very easy for them to work that way with each other because they can make it seem like it's very personal. And I dug that. I thought it was great, and I'm excited now to see what that's going to bring.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell the promos tonight didn't go through a focus group.
Yep. Yeah, that's very true.
I had to do that. I got to stop. Everybody else said something about that. We'll talk about that on Saturday, probably.
Yes, we will.
But I had to do that, especially because I know Conrad is in the chat, and I just want to get his reaction. Something about the words focus group. If you know what I'm talking about, folks, I won't go there. But no, I mean, again, like I said earlier, it just gave me a vibe of old school boxing promos where the guys were in their training camp and they're gearing up for the fight, and and it's personal at this point. And I like this side of wrestling. Like, obviously there's a place for the storyline stuff and the created stuff, but wrestling fans are evolving, especially with social media. So why not play into some of the personal relationships and personal ups and downs of these wrestlers and really dig into that, as opposed to, always relying on writers and trying to, manufacture some storyline.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's going to be really, a table match is brutal. So, whoever, you would kind of think Jake would have the big advantage in that because of the size of the man, but I don't know. Rohit seems to wiggle his way out of situations like this. And who knows if Shira is going to come down or something like that and interfere in that as well. So, another great match we saw. And man, Jeff, what's going on with Susan, man? The fact that she wrestled that whole match in heels, I don't know how she does it. At one point, I saw her foot up on that second rope, and she was balancing on that heel, and I'm like, oh God, like it. I was getting there, sitting ready to see. You could just see if her leg would slip off that. I'm like, oh man, I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she does it.
My ankles hurt just looking at her.
Oh man, oh man,
it was crazy. But I think I know you're a good sport, Conrad. That's why I did it. But yeah, again, I think, especially if you're paying attention to the social media things, something's coming. I think we get something in the next couple of weeks. With Susan.
Yeah, we'll probably have Susie maybe back before either Double or Nothing, or maybe at the very least Slammiversary. I have a feeling we'll probably have Susie back at some point. So remember, she was here around this time last year when Wrestle House and everything started too. So if they're going to kind of do that in cycles, or they're going to give you a little bit of a character a little bit at a time, then Susie would be kind of due to make a comeback. So we'll see. We will see. Jesse is here. What's up, Jesse? Randomly going to ask, has Rusty been around? Yeah. He was he was watching the Impact show with us. Yep, he was here. So let's see, what else? Well, you guys let us know. What were your favorite parts of tonight's show? We asked you for your scores a little bit earlier, but let us know what your favorite parts of tonight's show. Was it a promo? Was it one of the matches? What was your favorite part of this evening's show? Let us know. So I mean, we're talking a little bit about the setups. We're talking about the promos. I mean, going a little bit further. Where this is going to go, we don't know. We don't know. Is Kenny going to lose that against all odds? We're not sure. Or are they going to stay? Is it all kind of building up to Slammiversary? And like Jeff said, if that is the time when they're going to pull fans back, because it was asked about, someone asked in the chat of the watch along, when are they bringing fans back? We don't know. But if they're going to bring them back for Slammiversary, which would kind of make sense that they're going to maybe do that, then that's going to be a really big event, man. It really is, even bigger than Slammiversary last year, because obviously that was during COVID. Conrad, Decay. Obviously, Decay has a setup match as well now. I don't know if they just confronted Violent by Design. So
well, yeah, after they ended up beating Hernandez and Swinger.
Yep.
And so that might be another one that we
imagine. Jeff, you know what? Imagine if Decay has all the belts. They talked about that a few months ago. So imagine if Rosemary takes that belt off of Deonna, and then Decay win the tag titles. Oh.
And if you really want something crazy, how about Havoc joining Decay and then taking the Knockouts tag titles?
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah.
Next division. So
the whole group would have every title. Oh, dude, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Oh, I would love that. That would be awesome. James Chadwick said Moose and Sammy was fire. Yeah, that was our main event, of course. Yes, we kind of knew that was going to blow up, and it did. Sammy and Moose just don't like one another, and they were kind of getting in each other's way a little bit. Sammy tagged when Moose was just about looking to finish the matchup. Sammy tagged himself in, did not make Moose happy. And then we got kicks to each other. Moose stayed on the floor, didn't come back at the end, and kind of just allowed the Good Brothers to take care of Sami Callihan. So that is not over with. And that's why you can kind of maybe see that they're going to go to a possible triple threat. Big Dan. Joe, I remember when Rock was young. Oh, God. Are you singing Crocodile Rock? I knew it from the first line. Oh, man. I watched Dark Side of the Ring, and it was spicy. Oh, the Ultimate Warrior one? Yeah, we talked a little bit about that. Yeah. I was it better than the A&E one? Because I know Big Dan and I were kind of talking on Sunday when we were watching the one on A&E. Let us know. Decay winning and Joe getting to see it would be an absolute thrill for me. It would be. Wouldn't that be something if I finally saw them win? Yeah. That would be. If they won all those titles, that would be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Will Jacks, what's up, Will Jacks? How are you? So we got about 5 minutes left. I'm not going to keep Jeff long tonight because he had a long day of work. He was doing a big project for work, so I want to let him go and get some sleep. But give us your final thoughts, and we will get out of here for the night. Again, very, very promo-centric show tonight, but I think it was advancing things. I think we got some good stuff, and we have what looks to be, Jeff, an absolutely amazing show next week, man.
Sometimes you have to have shows like this because, and this is where, and I hate to talk about another company on a show that's called After the Impact, but I'm going to. This is where WWE could benefit. Instead of cramming rematches down our throat, give us some episodes where you do some stuff like this, where you take the time to go into some promo-heavy episodes, or you have certain programs that you're trying to establish, and you do this. I'd much rather hear someone cut a promo like W. Morrissey did tonight, or to show me a video package like you did with Rohit and Jake something, than seeing, I don't know, Charlotte versus Asuka for the 12th time,
right.
or seeing the same rematch with the Women's Tag Team Championship. So, not trying to crap on WWE. I'm just saying, like, this is where Impact really excels. is that they take these shows like this, and while it may look like, wow, we only got 4 matches, wow, that's crazy. But I mean, look at what it does. Look at how it sets up for next week. Look at how it sets up for Against All Odds. Look at how it sets up even for Slammiversary.
Yep.
So, this is what, other companies should look at as a blueprint, especially if you have some storylines that are kind of stagnant and your only course of action is to give someone the same match that they've seen numerous times. It's time to do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. And again, like you had mentioned, especially on a show like Raw, I mean, SmackDown is mixing in a little bit of promos. You're getting the Aleister Black stuff. They seem to do a little bit more backstage. But when you have a 3-hour show, like you said, what is 15, 20 minutes, maybe even half an hour of that show taking up time to do promos with people? I don't think that's asking too much. And if you're going to further storylines, especially because you have so many wrestlers, it seems like sitting on the bench that aren't getting any TV time, what's it going to hurt you to have them come in and build them into storylines and stuff like that? Yeah, I agree. It's something that other people can learn from. And, I hate to say it, but I think it just seems that sometimes the bigger companies don't want to look at the smaller ones and think they could learn something from them. They just kind of look at them as like, bah, they don't matter. You know what I mean? Like they're no threat. They're not but that's not the way you should be. Like some of these, new people that WWE and has gotten backstage should take the time to watch and say, hey, this is a good idea. Why don't we do something like this? But yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you, man. I definitely something. So, well, again, like Jeff said, that's it's a preview for Saturday because we'll talk more about that on Saturday because something needs to be done. But yeah, once crowds come back, WWE is really going to have to step it up big time. Dan, I think they're aiming for that, but the problem is if you go for the next month because you've got all of June and then you've got most of July. If you go through these next 2 months waiting in the shallow water and having these rematches go on and on and on and on and on, are you going to lose people before that happens?
Yep.
That's the thing you got to wonder. So, yeah.
For me, it's got to start. I mean, we keep saying this. It's got to start, like in a couple weeks.
Yep.
If you want to wait until after Hell in a Cell,
yep.
Okay. I mean, I think that's too late too. But at least you're aiming at something.
Yep.
Because the thing is, when you get back in front of fans, you don't want something to start anew. You want something to be hot, so that when you get fans in the building, you got them popping all over the place. You've got them, you've got a red hot crowd as soon as you start the show.
Yep.
So, that would be my train of thought. Instead of waiting until fans got back to do new stuff, I'd start it soon so that way fans are anticipating it when they get there.
Yeah, and I mean you're gonna see that they really better be careful now because when you do go back and have those fans there for Raw and stuff like that, dude, you're gonna get choruses of boos continuously throughout that entire show. If the fans don't like what's going on, they're not gonna have the luxury of having a Thunderdome where you can tell the crowd what to do anymore. So yeah, they better step up their game. I agree. I definitely agree, man. Rusty said it was me. It's a me. I miss you. I totally understand, my friend, and agree with you. Rumor has it at SummerSlam, and we get the Tribal Chief versus the Doctor of Thugonomics. Oh God, Roman versus Cena. But we'll never. We'll cover that Saturday. Yes, we will talk about all the. Well, that's a good enough segue. So there you go. So that is after the Impact. But make sure that you join us in a couple of days. We will be right back here on Saturday night for our weekly wrestling wrap-up show. We will talk all about all of those rumors and things that you're hearing. We'll talk about a lot of the stuff going on. We'll talk about the announce team with WWE. We will have some debates. We may have some grievances here and there, possibly. maybe. We'll talk about sell or no sell. We'll talk about favorite moments of the week, as we always do, and then we'll have the lighter side of wrestling to end the show. And of course, Jesse Callan, who is in the chat now, will be there to tell everybody some jokes before we head out. So don't forget to join us in a couple days, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be right back here, and we hope you will take some time out of your holiday weekend to come and say hello and join us. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed already. If you can, hit the like button for the streams tonight. If you were over in the Impact stream, drop a like on there. Also drop a like here on After the Impact as well. Yes, that is it, guys. I wish you the very best holiday weekend. If you can't make it to the show on Saturday, hopefully we'll see you next week. Obviously, again, make sure you're safe in your travels. If you are going to travel, it's going to be a crazy, crazy weekend with travel. So make sure that you are, of course, staying safe, like we always say. But enjoy the holiday weekend. Of course, enjoy SmackDown tomorrow night. I don't think Tazzy has anything on tap for tomorrow night because I think he's got the baseball stuff this week, so I don't think he will be there for the after party. But make sure that enjoy SmackDown tomorrow night. SmackDown's been a pretty good show. And then, of course, we hope to see you back right here on Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you all for coming over. Thank you for staying up with us and joining us for both Impact and After the Impact. We really, really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Enjoy your Friday, and hopefully we will see you on Saturday night. Have a great rest of your night, guys. Stay safe and take care. We'll talk to you soon. Good night.